Well, impact investments are investments that people make for the social good in the first place, where the expectation of the money being returned and being returned with a yield, with a dividend or with an interest, isn't the prime reason why people undertake those investments. So people look at what's called the triple bottom line, where returns are measured both as social returns, i.e. The impact that the investment has on improving this world and improving the lot of disadvantaged people in this world, and a combination of social return, a financial return that may be or may not be higher or lower than the returns that people normally expect in doing commercial investments, and if applicable, an environmental return. If you want to characterize the average impact investor, I guess it's a high net worth individual in banking terms, with a history of entrepreneurship and looking for opportunities to not only create more wealth or maintain his or her wealth, making commercial investments that look at financial bottom lines first, but deploying his money in a way that actually changes the world and solves certain social problems that he or she is most interested in. The social entrepreneur is the other side of the medal, so to say, or the mirror picture of the impact investor, i.e. is the person who primarily seeks to address a social issue for which there hasn't been a solution yet, or for which there hasn't been a sustainable solution yet, and tries to address that issue and solve that issue as an entrepreneur, building a business around that subject that allows it to become financially sustainable. So for the social entrepreneur, very much as for the impact investor, the social impact comes first, and the financial viability, although an important part of what he does, comes second. Why is South Africa so ideally placed for impact investment? Because it's got lots of problems. That's number one. But number two is it is a unique combination of a first and a third world in one country, which means that it almost provides a unique laboratory to experiment and to try things out that have indeed that ability to impact hugely on the lives of disadvantaged people. But secondly, using the infrastructure of that first world in the same country is able to attract investments and attract entrepreneurs who can effectively make it possible and create something that is scalable and replicable and can be sold and exported to other countries. The phenomenon that strikes me most in South Africa is that there are so few social entrepreneurs. And that's quite amazing based on what I said previously, that in fact the climatic conditions here, i.e. business climatic conditions here, are almost ideal in the sense that there are many challenges and many means to address those challenges, and yet it's not happening on a scale that you would expect in this country. One needs to bear in mind that social entrepreneurship isn't limited to what we used to call developing countries or third world or poor countries or whatever, but it's a phenomenon that is equally present in Western Europe or in the US or in Japan or China. For a social entrepreneur to be attracted to an impact investor, probably three conditions need to be met. The one condition is that the investment, or the entrepreneur rather, addresses a real social issue that is close to the heart of the impact investor, and where the social entrepreneur can have a big impact on resolving that issue. The second one, it's very important for a social investor that the social enterprise is able to generate sufficient cash to make it financially independent. Number three is it has the ability to scale and to replicate, i.e. to effectively take something that works in one area and take it to a different area and apply it there equally successfully. It's very difficult for a social entrepreneur to attract risk capital, first-tier risk capital that takes the first hit if things go wrong, equity capital. And its replacement is really grant money that people are willing to give away anyway. So people are already willing to accept a minus 100% return on their money, which therefore makes it an ideally suited sort of funding to provide that cushion of risk capital that any enterprise needs, and a social enterprise therefore needs too, in order to then be able to prove concept to the outside world, and henceforth be able to attract more commercially minded money from the international or local capital markets. The moment that people see that social entrepreneurship is really about building solid businesses around the resolution of social issues, and understand that that can be done sustainably, financial markets will kick in, there's no doubt. I consider social entrepreneurship the pearl of capitalism. For me, it's creative capitalism. It's the ability to demonstrate that capitalism can do good, and can do good better than maybe any other system.